Hi, I'm Chester.
I'm Phoenix from Linkin Park.
And you're watching WRIF Tube.
Blood, there's no alibi, 'cause I've drawn regret from the truth of 1,000 lies. So let mercy come and wash away what I've done. I'll face myself to cross out what I've become. Erase myself and let go of what I've done.
101 WRIF, we are backstage at Linkin Park. Giodos is on stage right now. Kind of hear him in the background. And we've got our winners here that are going to go backstage and interview Linkin Park. It's the press pass. Let's say hello, everybody!
Are you guys like big Iron Maiden fans? With the title and everything?
That was purely accidental.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I'm familiar with Iron Maiden, but I had no idea they even had that as a title of one of their songs until it was brought to my attention when during like one of our first interviews.
I knew.
He brought us
Actually,
I do.
yeah, we were. I was just excited because we had a really bad album title for a while. I think it was In Triumph and Tragedy or Triumph and Tragedy or something like that. And I was just thought it was really bad. So when Chester came in with the idea of, I think it came in with 7 minutes to midnight.
It was like 2 minutes to midnight.
He's watching like the History Channel, which you know Chester is very normal, or one of the science channels. And he came in and he's like, I got it. 7 minutes or 15 minutes or 2 minutes, whatever the idea was, and he'll chop that back. But it was the same idea that Iron Maiden song was written. Same.
Great minds. Great
It's a
minds.
doomsday clock, definitely.
Rocco from Trenton. I remember like watching some clips of you guys on probably like YouTube or some crap like that. When you, like, I don't know, like you remember when you like broke your arm doing that like power jump thing?
Yeah, I get hurt a lot, so it's not something new to me to like have to kind of just. I usually just laugh about it, but I wasn't even. It just was like the first thing that went through my head was, oh crap, I broke my arm, and then the next thing was, as we were doing the song, like I tried to jump around a little more, and I was like, okay, I wonder how broken it is because it really hurt to jump and everything, and so I had to take a couple minutes, and then I realized it wasn't bad. I mean, it was broken, but it wasn't like it wasn't flopping around. So I was like, okay, well, I can, if I leave, like, I'm just gonna go sit in a emergency room for like an hour anyways. So might as well finish the show and go to the emergency room later. It'll be just as broken then as it is now, and no one will be bummed out. So I just did it. Yeah, there was a period of time there, well, in that period of touring where I literally started every single tour in the emergency room. Now it's just a running joke, like with the new stage and everything. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but like with the new stage, the second I walked out on it, I go, okay, so who's gonna give me the helmet and the pads? Because like something bad's gonna happen.
I'm Andrew from Linkin Park. And, I just want to know, what was your favorite CD you made?
Probably Minutes to Midnight. Hybrid Theory was like not that much fun to make. It was it was fun when we were writing it as a band, like in like at Mike's house or in the practice studio or whatever. But once we like got signed and we had to go in and record it, there was no fun. I mean, I guess it was, but it was, you know, looking back at it, it really wasn't that great of a time. And then Meteora was just like, there was so much pressure on us that we kind of like, you know, you couldn't help but feel it. And so with Minutes to Midnight, we just had a good time. Like, we all just enjoyed going into the studio and hanging out with each other, and like the way we were working was new. It was just a much more relaxed environment, and we got to mess around with anything we wanted to mess around with, so it was cool.
I'm Laura from Sterling Heights, and I want to know, what was your favorite music video to make?
That's tough because I don't really like making music videos.
I have an easy answer on that same thing.
Probably Breaking the Habit because we did like, well, you broke your leg on that one.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
And it's animated.
His knee exploded.
I don't let you do the math.
My first question is, which venue do you guys like playing in Detroit? Because you guys have such a huge following here, and I know you guys always make it to Detroit to perform. And second question, real quick, which song do you guys like to perform that just pumps up the crowd so much?
I don't really know the answer to the first one. Probably wherever we're playing.
This one tonight.
What is it?
Joe Louis?
Yeah, something. But there's a couple songs that like, it's interesting how different crowds from different places react to songs. But lately it's been kind of cool. When we started touring this record, we put in like Shadow of the Day and stuff like that, and you know, I think people were kind of still unfamiliar with it, and so like the response was kind of like lukewarm, or just maybe they were listening. And now it's like people go crazy when they hear that song. It's always interesting to watch the dynamic between when you play a song and then when it becomes a single, like how different people react to the same thing. Like even if you play a city twice, like when you played it before and you come back after the single's out, all of a sudden everybody's like, yes, I love that song because I heard it on the radio. But it's kind of cool to see that happen.
I'm Brian from Macomb. I was just wondering when your next album is going to drop.
Next week.
Okay. And also, why such a short interval between albums?
Why such a short?
Usually you take like a couple years or so.
Well, typically, I mean, it's this question is always interesting to me because we tour for so long. You know, I guess it's different that we tour for such long periods of time. Like I guess a lot of bands will tour for like 7 months and then stop. Another almost 2 years after Meteora, and we took like 6 months off. Yeah. Like literally was it. Like we took like 6 or 7 months, and then we started working on Minutes to Midnight. And we didn't plan on it taking a year and a half to write and record that record, and do it simultaneously. Like we started working and recording at the same time. And but it did, and it was a lot of work. We wrote a lot of music. We were like hundreds of songs. So
And the goal now for us is to, we want to not get ourselves to a point after touring where we feel like we're kind of burnt out. We want to do our touring at this point and finish at a point where we're still like have energy, still have creative energy, and are still excited to be a band, not be at a point where we're just like exhausted. And so at that point, you know, we would be able to continue writing and hopefully get the next record out a little earlier, and then similarly with that, not tour it for 20 to 26 months, but rather tour it for 12 months, and then kind of just mellow it out a little bit on both sides of that.
Thanks. I'm Dave from Royal Oak. I was wondering if you guys had thought about putting out another CD, kind of like Reanimation, where you remix a whole CD or doing another collaboration like you do with Jay-Z, something a little different.
Reanimation, well, I don't think we would ever do anything that's kind of like a redo of what we've already done in that sense. Like those projects always come up spontaneously, and it's always something that's like something we think would be cool and that we're excited about, and it's different, and gives us a chance to experiment in a different place. For example, like Reanimation was Mike's little pet project, and
we kind of originally had this idea of doing a couple different songs, and then it turned into a whole album, and it turned into just a crazy amount of work for Mike, and he's kind of like,
We just kind of sat back and laughed at him.
and at the end of that, he'd sit down and tell you like, no way in hell we're doing another one of those. But there's always fun things that pop up, and I'm sure we'll do some different kinds of projects here and there. But I don't think it'd ever be anything like we've already done in that sense.
Cool, thanks.
Face